Welcome to 7-Minute Reworks, the Paladins series where I try to rework a champion in under 7 minutes, because I couldn't fit most of them in 5. Today's rework is for Vivian the Cunning. So, why would Vivian need a soft rework? Well, in the past, Vivian was one of the most hated champions in the community. She had a very forgiving base kit, and what set her over the edge in my opinion was her incredibly strong loadout cards. To fix this, the devs pulled an Overwatch and nerfed almost everything in Vivian's kit. This has left Vivian feeling very hollow and weak to play as. Today's rework aims to give Vivian some of her power back, while trying to keep her frustrating aspects in check. For this rework, Vivian's sensor drone will not be touched. Like all my reworks, I'll give the numbers first and then my reasonings after. Starting with the LMG. The damage per bullet is going up from 160 to 165. The movement speed penalty while shooting the gun goes down from 50% to 30%. The reload time will be cut a bit, going from 2.75 seconds to 2.5 seconds. However, these buffs come at a cost of the max ammo going from 70 to 50 bullets. In my opinion, the nerf to Vivian's damage was what killed her in my eyes. I didn't want to bring the damage back to the previous 170, so I decided on 165 as a middle ground from the current 160 and old 170 damage values. With 165 damage, Vivian's DPS goes up from the current 1142 to 1178. This should make Vivian feel a bit better damage-wise. Next, let me discuss the ammo count reduction. One point of frustration when facing Vivian is that she fires for such a long time. With the current 70 ammo, Vivian can fire for almost 10 seconds straight. This isn't even mentioning her dumb RNG ammo cards. With the reduction to 50 ammo, a Vivian will now only be able to fire for roughly 7 seconds max. This will give the enemy a little bit of breathing room when facing her, and in turn allow for some buffs towards the LMG. Of course, since the ammo count is going down, I figured that it was fair to reduce the reload time by a bit. The 0.25 second reduction isn't much, and the reason for that is because I wanted to keep Vivian's reload on the long side, as a way to keep one of her key weaknesses in check. Last, the move speed penalty. I get why it's there, since Vivian fires for so long, but with reduced ammo and a certain card rework, I think reducing this penalty a bit is a good call. Going a bit off topic here, but Vivian's gun does not fit her character or playstyle at all. Her whole shtick is being one step ahead with calculating reveals and well-timed shields, and then machine gun go brrr. Speaking of the Deflector shield, it's getting a slight nerf. The shield will now have a small 0.4 second cast time. Outside of her gun, Vivian's shield is the main cause of enemy frustration. This short cast time intends to aid flankers who get the drop on Vivian. With the cast time, Vivian players will have to be a little more attentive and recognize the scenarios that warrant defending themselves. Alrighty, last up the ultimate. The Sentinel's damage will be lowered from 150 per shot to 100 per shot. However, the explosion AoE will go up from 12 to 20 units. Vivian will gain 25% movement speed and lifesteal while the Sentinels are active. However, Vivian's ultimate charge rate will be decreased by 50% when the ultimate is active. When a single Sentinel is destroyed, the bonus effects are halved. My goal with this new version of the Sentinels is to give Vivian some utility boosts as opposed to a flat damage bonus, hence why the damage is lowered from 150 to 100 per shot. To make up for this, I opted to increase the explosion AoE from 12 to 20 units. The larger AoE will aid Vivian in two ways: dealing with clumped up teamfights and tagging enemies around corners, preferably those revealed by a sensor drone. See, we're further boosting that cunning playstyle. Anyways, a big change you'll notice with Vivian later on is that the move speed and lifesteal cards are being removed. Since those cards were so integral towards Vivian's viability, I thought it would be a cool idea to bring those bonuses into her ultimate as a way to compensate while also making the ultimate more interesting. I was debating on upping the Sentinel's HP, but I opted against it in favor of the move speed / lifesteal bonus. Next, let's cover Vivian's card changes. Starting with the only flat nerf. Scapegoat. The damage transfer will be lowered from 8% to 5% per level. Lowering the scaling on this card aims to lower the frustration when dueling Vivian. Players who can outplay the shield shouldn't be punished so heavily. Also, Vivian is going to have a new talent, and this card would be mega busted with it. Actually, it still might be, even with lowered stats. The rest of Vivian's card changes are all reworks. I wanted to play it safe with these, so you might notice that the scaling is fairly low on most of them. Starting with Contingency. The old card would increase the HP of Deflector's shield. The new card will increase your healing received by 4% per level while Deflector's shield is active. The new card will be akin to Koga's bonus healing card, granting Vivian bonus healing from all sources, including her own. This will synergize extremely well with her new ultimate, and will further aid in defense while the shield is active. If this proves too powerful, then the card can be altered to only benefit ally healing. Hidden Reserves. The old version of this was RNG percent-based ammo back when using precision sights. The new version of this card is as follows. Hitting an enemy with precision sights increases your movement speed by 1%, 0.75% scaling, for 0.75 seconds. This card is supposed to work as a substitute to the soon-to-be booted One Step Ahead card. I based this card off of Vora's movement speed card, however this holds drastically lower values, since Vivian boasts a much faster fire rate. Since Vivian fires roughly 5 shots in 0.75 seconds, she will be gaining roughly 20% move speed if she maintains constant fire. This comes at a cost of visibility, however, since she has to be in iron sights to gain the boost. One Step Ahead. As mentioned earlier, the old version of this card granted Vivian a flat move speed bonus. The new version will grant Vivian 25 ammo when she falls below 35% HP. The card will have a 45-second internal timer that gets reduced by 4 seconds for each level put into it. Capped out, the internal cooldown is 25 seconds. Since Vivian's long reload is what will often get her killed, I wanted to put this card in as a way to semi-alleviate this. 25 ammo will give Vivian half of her clip back in those dangerous situations. Runic Ammunition. The old card granted Vivian base lifesteal. The new card will increase your ammo count by 3 per level. Capped out, you will gain 15 ammo and have a total of 65. This card is one I was very hesitant on putting in. I wanted Vivian's main weakness with this rework to be her long reload. Originally, I had the card scale by 4 per level, so that you could have the old 70 ammo if desired. But again, to not feed into the frustration when fighting Vivian, I decided to lower it. The reason I decided to keep an ammo card is due to a new talent Vivian will be receiving. Last of the cards, Unchecked Ambition. The old card was RNG percent-based ammo back when hitting a shot. The new version of the card is this. Every 10 shots you hit on players reduces the cooldown of Deflector's shield by 0.08 seconds per level. The main thing to note with this card is that the cooldown reduction only occurs when you're hip firing, so if you use the precision sights, you won't be getting that cooldown reduced. I honestly ran out of card ideas. I wanted to avoid lifesteal and move speed bonuses because of the new ultimate, and I wanted to avoid a lot of ammo/reload speed cards to keep Vivian's weaknesses in check. Ultimately, I decided on this card since Vivian has something similar for her sensor drones. Capped out, Vivian will get a 0.4 second reduction on her shield for every 10 shots hit. I put the 10 shot requirement in as a way to reduce the frustration factor when fighting Vivian, as spamming shields is not fun to fight against. Okay, let's wrap up with Vivian's 2 talent reworks. Booby Trap will not be changed. Suspect Everyone. The new effect is as follows. Increase Deflector's shield size and double its HP, but it stays in place once activated. First off, the current Suspect Everyone is being booted to once again reduce the frustration factor when fighting Vivian. And as for this new talent, I always wondered why there was no tank talent for the only damage dealer with a shield. I mean, we have how many non-supports trying to be healers, right? So with this talent, the main gimmick is that the shield is bigger and bulkier, but deploys on the ground in front of you. I would say the shield should be about 2 Vivians wide and maybe 1.5 Vivians tall. With double health, the shield will have 2,400 HP, which would make it the weakest standing shield in the game. However, unlike the front lines with shields, Vivian will be able to fight back hard with her LMG. This talent will be excellent for those comps where you're lacking in shielding, or just want to be more of a team player. Losing your personal shield will be a detriment in some scenarios, so players will have to keep that in mind. And last, a rework to the Opportunity and Chaos talent. The new talent is as follows. Decrease your base fire rate by 20%. After firing for 2 seconds, your base fire rate increases by 20%. So on top of being frustrating, the current Opportunity and Chaos is one of the most boring talents in this game. I wanted to keep the core idea of your weapon getting stronger with continuous fire, but I also wanted to give a unique twist on it. You start out with a weaker gun, and now have to be super mindful of your ammo consumption. With a 20% reduction, Vivian's gun will fire once every 0.168 seconds. With a 20% boost, Vivian will fire once every 0.112 seconds. When you charged, the LMG will feel like a powerhouse, shredding through players and shields alike. The numbers might need to be tweaked on this, but I think this talent has the potential to change Vivian's playstyle while also being very fun. And that's the rework, y'all. In case you didn't know, Vivian was actually one of my first mains when I started playing Paladins, so it saddens me to see her in this current state. I put a lot of thought into this rework, and I would love to know your thoughts about it. Let me know down below. Don't forget to clap that like button and laser down that sub button. Snatching the bell is also a great way to stay in the loop. As always, I'm YellowNinja, and peace.